and better.
Beth, that's the way I see the season too. Attendance was up, driver interest was high. We had new sponsors. We had some great racing from the 3 classes of local stock car drivers. We had expanded schedules from other racing organizations in the state.
I think the racing fan of Southern Colorado appreciates seeing these different kinds of racers coming in from out of town to put on their racing programs.
I think it makes for a more diversified program, and you get a chance to see different types of racing in the same program. And we did have a great year, and we want to thank the Southern Colorado stock car racing fans for the support in making this such a good season.
Well, the 1990 racing season really got underway at Chapel Hills Mall in Colorado Springs. The 1990 racing season started off with a car show at the Chapel Hills Mall in Colorado Springs. Many fresh new cars poised for action were on display. Fans were excited about the upcoming action, pitting these beautiful new racing machines against one another on the quarter-mile high-banked asphalt oval of Beacon Hill Speedway. And there were also the drivers and pit crews looking forward to the victories they were already counting on. Expectations, even before the first lap of competition, were running on a very high note. Gentlemen, what do you look for 1990?
Track championship.
I'll take it. I look to do real good. We're looking for that points champion, and I think we're going to get it.
Yeah, we got a good car. I think we can do it.
To go out there and try to dominate this class and win the championship.
Myself, I just like to be top 10 again.
The community became involved as Jim Brewer, Pueblo County Commissioner, along with other dignitaries, staged a ribbon-cutting ceremony officially opening the 1990 season. The 3 regular classes of racers included the ever-growing field of mini-stocks, a class of front-engine, rear-wheel drive compact cars. This class had over 40 entries during the season, and it appears its growth is nowhere its peak. Finishing 3rd in the points race for track champion was Pueblo driver Mike Berkeyfeld. This was Mike's 7th year of competition at Beacon Hill, and it appears he'll be a top contender for next year's points chase. Second place finisher in this class was car number 31, a Buick Opal, co-driven by Joe Greer and Dave Halter of Colorado Springs. This driver pair had high hopes of a track championship for 1990, but their plans were put on hold for now by veteran driver Glenn Bowers. Bowers, also from Colorado Springs, raced to his first Beacon Hill Speedway championship. The question on what racing should be was posed to Bowers on the final night of racing this year. Glenn, you wrapped up the championship a few weeks ago. You could have stayed home for the rest of the year, but you're still out here being competitive.
Yeah, we're having fun this year. We had a good little car. It run real good all year. Motor worked real good, and we kept her clean and straight, so we're having a lot of fun with it and wanted to finish out the year and keep racing.
Isn't that the big thing, having fun?
Sure, that's what it's all about, and this class is for fun.
Bowers' plans for 1991 are for him to enter an IMCA racer and son Eric to slide behind the wheel of mini-stock 00X. Rounding out the top 10 in points for the mini-stock division were 4th, Gary Huffman, 5th, Curtis Cosley, 6th, Vince Wallace, 7th, Pat Gant, 8th, Rodney Leffler, 9th, Bill Maries, and 10th, Ross Port. The Roadrunner class consists of a mid-level group of stock cars limited to nearly a stock configuration on chassis and engine. This class had the closest point race of the 3, with Randy Johnson in number 87 finishing 3rd, only 1 point ahead of the 4th place car. Runner-up honors went to Charlie Wilson. Wilson was driving the only Dodge in competition, and he said others didn't believe in him.
I'm running the only Dodge product on the track, and when I brought it out here, everybody told me I couldn't make it work, that I couldn't run a Chrysler on this track. And I was going to do it because I done it on dirt. And so I just brought it around. It took a lot of man work and a lot of hours of reading books, but we got it to where to come around.
You appear to be a fellow that's having a lot of fun.
Oh, I love it. When it quits being fun for me, I'm going to quit racing.
The Roadrunner champion was 5-time track champion Sledge Larson. Larson, a Pueblo native, proved once again his dominance over this exciting field of cars. The rest of the top 10 were 4th, Kelly Starkey, 5th, Dave Edmonds, 6th, Robert Bailey, 7th, Glenn Port, 8th, Ron Shalhoub, 9th, Charlie Martin, and 10th, Craig Gray. The fastest of the Beacon Hill Speedway stock cars are the sportsman entries. This class provides the fans with some of the hottest competition, and finishing near the top takes a definite concerted effort every week. Finishing 3rd in 1990 was Kevin Price. Kevin, last year, was leading the class in points, but mechanical failures dropped him out of contention late in the season. Second place honors went to Travis Hunter in 07. Travis was the 1989 Roadrunner champion, but decided to move up to Sportsman this year, and he proved he could run with the best. The high points champion was Walt Smith. Smith from Colorado Springs drove his number 36, a 1990 Chevy Lumina, to the number 1 spot. We had a chance to catch Walt off the track. Well, Walt Smith, congratulations. You've wrapped up the 1990 championship in the Sportsman division here at Beacon Hill. How's the year been?
It's been a real good year for us. We've been in lead as far as points for quite a while, and the cars ran good and handled good, and I think we got the car working on the outside groove, and that's what did it most of the way through the year.
Rounding out the top 10 were the following. 4th place went to Sam Kinkennet. 5th, Dwayne Robinson. 6th, Richard Nelson. 7th, David Carty. 8th, Frank Clay, who met his goal of top 10. 9th, Dan Ingraham. And 10th, Bill Moore. It was a very exciting season last year, Dall, in the 3 regular classes, but you provided some different classes of cars to give the fans a potpourri of auto racing.
Beck, the 1990 season was a lot of fun, and we had several different classes of racing coming in. Pro 4s, IMCA Modifieds, Rocky Mountain Mini Sprints, Pepsi-Cola Super Modifieds. They were all racing at Beacon Hill on a routine basis, and we'll see them all next year.
And after nearly 20-year absence from southern Colorado, the mighty midgets of the Rocky Mountain Midget Racing Association returned to Beacon Hill Speedway and put on a whale of a show.
Yeah, I enjoyed that show a lot, and I know that we're planning to see more of the midgets at Beacon Hill Speedway in 1991.
You know, Mitch Miller, their announcer, was up in the booth, and he's also handles their public relations. He says that the drivers themselves were very excited about being back, and they were excited about the track, that their cars fit the track quite well, and it looks like that will be a regular stop on their summer tour.
I know as we built the track, we always felt that it would be a great track to have a midget race on, and it did turn out that way. It's an ideal track for midgets or for mini sprints, and I think we'll see a lot more of them in the future.
Well, here we are talking about these different classes, but let's take a look at some of the summer thunder they provided. The Pro 4s, a 4-cylinder, mostly rotary engine-powered stock car, provided some fan excitement. We spoke with Bill Wardlow, president of the Pro 4 organization. Talking with Bill Wardlow, the president of CMSA, a racing group out of the Mile High City. Bill, my question is, you're introducing Pro 4, what you're calling these race cars. Why a new class?
And we discovered that by building tube frame cars, running them a little bit lighter, and using higher performance 4-cylinder and rotary engines, we were able to do times that were very much competitive on a lot of tracks with sportsmen and late models. And we're having a ball, that's why.
Another added attraction were the Rocky Mountain Mini Sprints. A very lightweight and very fast winged racer delighted many race fans.
The club was formed about 6 years ago, and Don Flood, the owner of the car number 9, started the club, and we started with about 4 or 5 cars and just ran mainly exhibitions for the first 2 seasons until the club got strong enough where we could pretty much strike out on our own. And presently we have 34 cars registered in the club, of which we're getting anywhere from 17 to 22, 23 cars on a weekly basis. And you're the 1989 champion of the Mini Sprint Association. Yeah. And do you see any stiff challenges from the ranks that would keep you out of doing that back-to-back? Well, it's always difficult. There's the top 6 or 7 cars in this club are capable of winning a feature any given night. So it's a lot of it's luck, and some of it's preparation, some of it's experience. But there's a lot of guys out here that can unseat me, that's for sure. How's your race car work on this new track? Well, my car loves this racetrack. I think everybody likes this racetrack since they've refurbished it. It's an excellent racetrack, perfect size for our cars, and hopefully we put on a good show for the fans. The IMCA entries are a full-size but drastically modified stock car with major modifications to the chassis, relocating the engine to almost the middle of the car, and other speed-oriented changes. This will be a new class to be introduced in 1991. This nationally popular entry will provide some great racing action and will feature a number of our local popular drivers who are moving to this class. Then there's the Pepsi-Cola series of super modified racers who appeared on at least a monthly basis at Beacon Hill. Harold Evans, president of the Inglewood Racing Association and 10-time ERA points champion, talks about super modified racing. How many more years for Harold Evans behind the wheel of a super modified racer?
Oh, I don't know. As long as it's still fun, I still enjoy driving, and as long as I still enjoy driving and enjoy the guys I drive with, I'll just keep racing.
1990 for a year of racing for the Inglewood Super Modifieds. How's the year been for the entire club?
Well, the entire club's been really good. We're growing, we're getting a lot of new cars, new guys, and it's been really a competitive year. This year I was pushed real hard by Jimmy Brown in '77. Jimmy had a couple bad accidents out here, and it kind of gave me a little point lead, a little cushion, and that kind of helped me. On down the line from second to, oh heck, I think it's about 11th, it's real tight, and it's been a real competitive season. We've had pretty good fortune. Haven't had too many cars lost due to accidents or anything, so it's been it's been a good year.
Many top drivers of the Super Modifieds fielded cars at Beacon Hill Speedway, as did local driver John Pickard. Pickard, driving number 02, is a 2-year veteran with the Modifieds and was named Rookie of the Year in 1989. He is certainly one to watch as he consistently finishes among the top drivers of the Inglewood Racing Association. Dal, while we don't look forward to cars and drivers being involved in serious accidents, that certainly is a definite risk in the sport that we're in, and we had just such an accident this year.
Beck, that was definitely the most spectacular crash I've seen at our track since I've been involved with it, and I think it warrants taking a look at it just to see how the safety equipment can protect a driver in a situation like that.
Well, it involved Ronny McDowell, former track champion of Beacon Hill Speedway. It happened on the last night of racing, the first race of the night, the first lap of the race. Well, let's show you what happened. And there you see Ronny McDowell's 119 in a spectacular crash, and right away 88 has stopped, Sam Kinkennon is out and running towards the car.
Yeah, Beck, you'll see that both Sam and there's Walt Smith, all the drivers are very concerned for the safety of one of their competitors. Driver's going to know firsthand how dangerous something like this could be.
And probably the best sight of all is coming up right here as Ronny McDowell in the black and red racing uniform climbs up, brushes his head, and says, "Wow, what happened to me and my car?"
We got another look at it here as the two cars make contact. It puts McDowell into the air. He gets on top of the wall here, probably about 6 feet in the air before he hits into those billboards.
And the billboard comes crashing down, and the left front wheel goes rolling on down the track, and all those other cars spinning into the infield.
Here's another look at it showing the safety factor, the catch fence, keeping that car from going into the pit area, which could have been a major catastrophe. Of course, that fence was added as we rebuilt the track last year, and we continue to add safety features. There's another look at the accident.
One more shot to show you the violence and the spectacularness of this crash, but everything was fine with, I guess Ronny said, not even a bruise on his body.
That's what he told me the next day, that he didn't even have a scratch or a bruise from this accident, which was really a tribute to him and his team as a car builders, the fact that they were build a car to withstand something like that.
There's Ronny McDowell's little darling, number 119, getting a lift off the track. McDowell got national coverage in that mishap as ESPN picked it up as something spectacular. But Dal, I feel that Ronny would have traded that publicity for a victory in the race.
Beck, I'm sure he would have. And, you know, Ronny's raced at Beacon Hill for 30 years, but this year we had a lot of new drivers, a crop of rookies, and each year we select one of those rookies as Rookie of the Year.
And this year's selection for Beacon Hill Speedway Rookie of the Year is Curtis Cosley. Let's take an up-close and personal look at Curtis Cosley. Curtis Cosley.
Hello.
Mini stock division. You having fun?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's different every week for me. 1 week it feels like I'm fast, and next week I feel like I'm all over the track, but it's been fun.
We have somewhere around 25 to 30 entries in this exciting mini stock division. You're currently running 7th place in points in your rookie year. How can you do that?
I have a good crew. I have a good car, and they know what they're doing. And it's just a matter of me learning to drive the dumb thing.
Curtis Cosley will get his award at the upcoming Beacon Hill Speedway Awards banquet on October the 20th. But Dal, there are other awards to be given away.
Beck, we do have a good time at the banquet every year, and there's a lot of awards given. One of the awards that we can take a look at now is for Most Improved Driver. And this year we feel the Most Improved Driver at Beacon Hill was Kelly Starkey. He drives Roadrunner number 88, and he got his first main event wins this season. And let's take a look at Kelly.
What was your major problems last year?
Motors, suspension, the normal.
A learning experience?
Yeah, a whole lot of that.
You've got your lessons under your belt now, 1990. Going to be a better year?
Oh yeah. Every year's better, regardless.
Do you have any goals? Where do you want to be at the end of the year in the standings?
Myself, I just like to be top 10 again. I haven't been in the top 10 for 2 seasons now, and it's not a whole lot of fun.
Well, we've reviewed a lot of the action and excitement of the past year, but I guess the season is not over yet, Dall. You've got something coming up for the fans of Southern Colorado. What is it?
Beck, we're going to have a real exciting race on October 7th. That's a Sunday afternoon race. We're having the Colorado Street Stock State Championships. $1,000 to win the main. There's about $6,000 on the line that afternoon. We expect a big field. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I guess the qualifying is a little different than our normal program. Tell us about that.
Qualifying for this main event will be through a heat race system. So your finish in the heat race has a bearing on where or if you get in the main event, which should add a lot of intensity to the racing all afternoon.
Well, and with cars from the Denver area, down around Lamar, from Pueblo, from Colorado Springs, looks like we're going to have a good field of cars.
We're expecting a lot of cars. We've been getting a lot of interest. We'll get to see some different drivers. We're going to see some of our best and probably some of their best.
Okay, we've looked at 1990. 1991 is coming up. Can we get a peek of what we can expect next year?
We're going to have 3 classes of stock cars again: mini stock, street stock, sportsman. We've got Pepsi Modifieds returning with an expanded schedule, Rocky Mountain Mini Sprints. We have special events with the midgets and the Western States Super Modifieds. And in fact, we can take a look at this year's Super Modified action.
Let's do that. The Western States Super Modified Tour, which was held at Beacon Hill Speedway July 3rd, featured open-wheel, 780 horsepower super modified racers. It is an assembly of the top and most exotic super modifieds ever, with named drivers in the lineup such as Vukovic, Pankratz, Hamilton, Ekberg, Bachman, Evans, and so on. This event, the second held at Beacon Hill, will be elevated to a national points race in 1991. This footage shows you some of the action that took place during the 1990 season. You won't want to miss 1991's injected fire and fury, the Western States Super Modified Tour.
The Western States Super Modifieds put on a great show, and I know I'm looking forward to the 1991 return of that group to Southern Colorado. This will be our 3rd year, and we had Davey Hamilton win, and this year, we had Billy Vukovic. This coming up race in 91 will be our biggest turnout because it'll be a points race, and we expect a larger field, a lot of excitement. I think 1991 is shaping up to be quite a year.
Well, it's also going to shape up to be quite a year for 2 newcomers into the sport of racing. They're going to venture into their first attempt at fame and fortune in stock car racing. First, we have teenager Eric Bowers planning on starting his racing career. 1991, I understand you're going to take over the wheel of OOX, and what are you looking forward to?
Having fun.
Are you going to have a good coach?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Are you going to listen?
Maybe.
Next, we have a gentleman who you might think has had enough excitement in his years on this earth, but no, 62-year-old Blink Blinkensop feels racing will help to keep him young.
I think that it's necessary to do something as we age to keep excited about life, and something that's a challenge and something that's some fun, and that's fun.
And you said to stay young, you're going to race.
Oh yeah, I think that'll go a long ways.
Not only do we have some new drivers coming for 1991, but we also have some new rule changes coming into effect.
Beck, the rule changes for the 1991 season are designed to get more cars on the track. The Roadrunner class has been replaced with the street stock, which is a more restricted class aimed at keeping costs down. And there have been changes in the sportsman and mini stock classes as well, mostly aimed at keeping the cost of racing down to get more cars out.
And we've talked to 1990 sportsman champion Walt Smith about the rule changes. I understand we've got some new rules out which are going to restrict a little bit on engines for 1991. What are your plans for Beacon Hill Speedway and racing for next year?
We'll probably have the same car. We'll have to talk to Randy and see what he wants to do. But probably redo the body maybe and put the engine up to the rules, which is with the no roller cam, which is a good idea, I think, to limit the engine down a little bit.
We've looked at bits and pieces of action and excitement throughout the 1990 season, but on September 15th, one of the fans' favorite main events was held with the Super Modifieds. Let's take a look at why the fans were excited.